Welcome back to Task Quiz. I am Inga, your tutor, and today we're going to learn how to find the least common denominator. Let's do a really quick review of fractions. As you know, when you add and subtract fractions, it is very important that your denominators be the same. So for example, in 3/5 minus 2/5, our denominators are 5 and 5. Since they're the same, it makes solving this problem very easy. We can just subtract right across our numerators. 3 minus 2 is 1, and we bring our common denominator over to the other side. In this case, 1 6 plus 2 6, our denominators are 6 and 6. Since they're the same, that means we can add straight across our numerators. 1 plus 2 is 3, and bring our common denominator over to the solution side. But when faced with fractions like 3/10 plus 4/5 with our denominators 10 and 5, since they're not the same, we cannot add straight across. And that means we have to find a common denominator. Same thing for 7/12 minus 1/16. We can't subtract straight across because our denominators 12 and 16 are not the same. Therefore, we need to find a least common denominator. So let's do that. The first step, and all of these steps are all mental steps that you do until you find your least common denominator, is you identify your bigger denominator. So in our problem 3/10 plus 4/5, the bigger denominator is 10. In our problem 7/12 minus 1/16, the bigger denominator is 16. Next step, in our mind, we ask, can my bigger denominator divide by my little denominator with no remainder? So, can 10 divide by 5 with no remainder? And the answer is yes, 2 times. That means 10 is my least common denominator in this situation. Over here, 7/12 and 1/16, we ask the question, can our bigger denominator 16 divide by our little denominator 12 with no remainder? And the answer is no. So that means we keep moving on until we get a yes answer. So step 3. Now we multiply our bigger denominator by 2. Then we ask again the question, can our bigger denominator times 2 divide by our little denominator? So in our case, we take 16, our bigger denominator, and in our mind we multiply it by 2. And that number is 32. Then we ask the same question again, but using the bigger number. We say, can 32 divide by our little denominator 12 with no remainder? And the answer is no. And if that's the case, then we keep moving up the ladder. Now we ask the question, now we have to multiply our bigger denominator by 3. And then we ask, can that number divide by our little denominator with no remainder? So we take 16 and we multiply it by 3 in our minds, and that number is 48. Then we ask the question, can that number 48 divide by our little denominator 12 with no remainder? And the answer is yes, 4 times. Therefore, 48 is our least common denominator for this problem. And we're done. But if perchance 48 didn't work, we would keep multiplying our bigger denominator by the next higher integer, and we would test again with the same question until we get a yes. I hope you enjoyed our quick lesson today on fractions. Please visit my website, taskwiz.com, for more information about our different tutoring programs and to also see some more articles on my blog. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.